Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. With me this week is Mike and Tommy.
Yep.
We managed to pull ourselves away from Disney Plus long enough to come here and do an episode. How's it going, guys?
All right, I'm not watching it.
Look, we're going just fine. Just fine.
Under the sea.
So we're not watching it while we're doing it.
We're not watching what we're doing.
Right.
Because Endgame would take 3 hours.
That's what we said at the beginning. We're not watching.
No.
Or just do what I do and watch the last hour like repeatedly over and over.
Actually, I watch. Yeah, there's a
I like the rest of the movie, but that last hour is just.
It is. It's amazing.
It's the bomb, yes. Anyway, our Twitter account here, at CCG_WrestleCast. Subscribe to the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel. Today, we are running through a recap, our recap of AEW Full Gear and talking the ever...
Controversial.
Just like the PWI 500, it's the PWI Women's 100, and a lot of question marks on this list. And but although really we're going to talk about why it should be the PWI 101. We'll get to that.
So this is perfect. Nothing else to add.
Oh, whatever.
Anyway, Full Gear, hell of a show. This is a kind of a big statement for AEW. It's the first pay-per-view of the Dynamite era, we could call it, because this is the first one they're doing after starting up AEW Dynamite. Yeah. So a lot to really talk about, and some of the biggest news out of it, let's just throw it out there. MJF turning on Cody. We all kind of knew it was coming, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it was just... I thought they'd stretch it out a little longer.
Yeah.
Guess you could say he threw in the towel on that friendship.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
We're done. Not everybody.
That's it. There's no way we're topping that.
But man, she's got some heat off of it, man. Yeah. I mean,
he's a master of gaining heat.
He is. Even to the point where the fan threw a beer at him. Yeah. And I think they'll let that guy stay.
Well, I've heard rumors that they think it's a plan.
I think the
people there said he got escorted out.
Okay.
That the police escorted him out, but. Either way, there was rumors it was a plan, and they just got him out of there, just to make it look like it. But either way, it worked.
Yeah,
yeah.
Even if it was a plan, it was a well done.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it was a great shot. I mean, you got to have an arm. 1, 2. If it's not a plant, you got to pull some major heat for somebody to throw a $10 beer at you. Let's be honest here. So
yeah,
good.
I know people who would not sacrifice their beer. I don't care how much they hate the wrestler. Yeah. I didn't. Nope.
Yep.
But I was gonna say, I mean. It really goes to both of them, too, because Cody has done an amazing job of just making himself that white meat babyface, if you will. And so it was like the perfect storm. And I agree. We could talk about, was it too soon? Should they have done it? But, it got a reaction. And, people kind of coming to the realization Cody's not going to be able to go after a title again.
Yeah.
A lot of people, of course, think, they're going to find a way, but I think they'll stick to it for at least a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a good long while, probably at least a few years.
I really don't see him. Yeah, I was going to say, I really don't see him challenging for it again within the next year. I really don't. Yeah. Like, if anything, because watching Dynamite tonight, honestly, to me, the next challenger to me would be Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, because he got the pin on Jericho. Yes, we are recording this on a Wednesday night.
Again,
yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
No, it's fine. Again, Disney Plus, and it's been freaking cold here in Texas.
Yeah, for real, dude, for real.
Yeah, but Scorpio Sky, that's interesting. You mentioned it on Dynamite tonight. SCU, after successfully defending the titles at Full Gear, had gotten a challenge from Jericho and Sammy Guevara. And everyone assumes Sammy Guevara's taking the pin if SCU
wins, I did too. Like immediately, that's who I thought was going to take the pin.
Yeah. For a while, it seemed like there's going to be a title change because Kazarian got taken out, Christopher Daniels got taken out with Hager there at the ringside,
and Scorpio was like alone in the ring.
Yeah, and he happened to roll up Jericho of all people, giving Jericho his first loss in AEW.
Well, is it now? You guys stop me if you think I'm wrong, but do you guys think it sounds like they've been really talking up Scorpio Sky, like everyone in AEW, like not like the commentators and everything, just like talk. I mean, not in a bad way. It's just like it seems like they give Scorpio Sky a lot of like just credit, which they should. But I'm just saying it sounds like they've been talking up a lot.
I mean, it seems like it would make sense now.
Yeah.
That they were starting to plant. I mean, not like again he deserves it, but if this was kind of where they wanted to go, it seems like that might have been a wise decision to start doing that. So you know his name's in your head.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was a shock, and you know, we were kind of joking at the end. Jericho gets mad, but he doesn't look like he has the energy to really be upset. He was just throwing things around with his dad bod.
You say dad bod, I call it rockstar bod because it's on the road a lot. You know?
To me, Jericho is like just almost the reason why you can't have an excuse is to not do something. It's like look at how he looks.
Because if he could do it.
Yeah, exactly. He's still doing code breakers and lion salt for the love of God.
No kidding. That's
if you haven't yet watched the promo he had with MJF on Dynamite, that is pure gold. Definitely check that out. So
looks like your parents are watching me beat up Juventud Guerrera.
Yeah.
It got all hot and bothered. And somewhere
who's Hoovy?
And somewhere Juventud Guerrera was like, Dick.
Yeah.
That's that juicy man.
Yeah.
You got to talk
probably the most, I guess you could say, polarizing match of the night was the non-sanctioned lights out match between Moxley and Omega, going for nearly 40 minutes. And people on Twitter and social media go back and forth like, oh, this is a great match. Oh, this is crap. This is garbage. Even the official PWI account, whoever was managing that at the time, was kind of like, this just doesn't make any sense. If they're going for shock value, they got it. Yeah. I mean, it's hard nowadays to shock wrestling fans.
It really is, yeah.
Of like ROH, the quote unquote smart mark fans kind of thing.
Unless you just watch a Joey Janela match, in which case, you're still shocked no matter what happens.
Yeah. Well, to see that on American soil on a pay-per-view TV.
I kind of forgot that because for me, since I love old school ECW, that wasn't much of a surprise to me, that whole match. And for another, with the number of death matches I've seen from Japan, I was like, this is pretty tame.
Yeah.
everyone's like, this is so super violent.
Yeah.
Really? They're nowhere near covered in enough blood for that.
But remember,
Jun Kasai is like, that's all they did? Where were the light tubes, you bastards?
ECW was also like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but see,
I mean,
but also to
you're
me,
not wrong. But the modern fans, they mention it and they like to chant it when they show up in Impact, but I don't think they really understood
what ECW was.
And I guess to me that's when like the actual fans of ECW show up. It's like, if you chant ECW,
they're mostly in jail.
There's that too. I mean, but if
they're getting paroled now.
Yeah, okay.
If you chant ECW and then thought that match was too violent, you never saw one thing Sabu did in all of his 90s career of ECW.
And if you want to watch it, go back and watch it on the network because they're all on there.
It really is worth it. I mean, because honestly, where people say that this match doesn't make sense, I think it does only because it lives up to the threat Moxley made the weeks before when they made it non-sanctioned. He said, whatever I do to Kenny Omega now is on your hands.
Yep.
I think before it would have just been a straight up like a brawl of a match, but a match. But when you throw the non-sanctioned in and a guy who's clearly unhinged, as John Moxley is clearly unhinged, and you give him and you pretty much set him off his leash, well,
he's such a lunatic freak. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
Shh. You can't say that.
Right, the scariest bump was definitely when they pulled the mats off the ring and Omega missed the Phoenix Splash.
It reminds me, I'm plugging and I hope they watch this, Andy Dalton and Barrett Brown in their Iron Man match at BOW. When they did the exact same thing, and all of us who were there were like just scared for their lives because it was like because first of all, neither one of those guys have any sense. I've known them for years, so and yes, I hope they're watching this and heard me say that. But it's like it was just the same thing. I was like, well, someone has to not. I hope not die. But that Phoenix Splash was scary though. His landing was like I knew he caught all face on that one.
Yeah. Whatever your take on it, it definitely was a match that got a lot of attention. So,
can we talk about one of my favorite moments in the whole show?
Sure.
Ortiz taking the super kick.
Yes,
bro.
Talk about a Ric Flair style knockout.
First of all, Ortiz is one of the best sellers in all for wrestling. Like I could watch a video of him just selling moves all day and be happy. But that was like his crowning achievement thus far. It's like when Matt hit that kick, I'm just imagining it and like his body convulsions before he smacked him to the ground. You're right. Ric Flair would be proud. Ric Flair would have been proud. Ric Flair was probably watching that. Was like, I like this guy.
Yeah,
this guy right here. He's a good guy. I gotta shake this guy's hand.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch it live, so I wasn't able to get a match of the night pull out there. But do you guys have a suggestion on one from what you guys saw?
Oh,
The
man.
two we've talked about so far.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was Moxley Omega.
Right,
That was
I
the
would
one that
assume
just
that
got the most
one.
attention.
The Cody Jericho was probably up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard even the Bucks, Pride and Prejudice was.
It was really good.
Yeah,
but
real good.
I don't know if this was a favorite because my favorite probably was the Moxley Omega match. But honestly, I gotta give a shout out to Riho and Emi Sakura's match. It was very, very much teacher versus student, and you could see it all throughout the match. Really, really, really good showing. I'm still looking forward to like other people, like what is their footing with the women's division. And it's like I've been saying, I really think people are expecting too much right away. Of course, I've been saying this about AEW altogether. It's like I don't like what I told someone was I don't expect them to reinvent the wheel, because at this point with pro wrestling you almost can't. It's really hard to shock or bring anything new to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But all I'm looking for is just a fun time, with matches. I like just like and even fun in new school, fun in old school. NWA Power comes to mind. But I just like what they're doing, and it's going to take them a while to find their footing because they're bringing in so much different talent for so many different places. But I think they can do it. But I just like the outing that they had tonight.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's really a criticism, just you're saying because they're so young. One thing I do feel, though, is like I don't feel like anybody in the women's division really has a standout personality, or like they're all very talented. They can put on good matches, but I don't feel like there's one yet who's like poised to kind of be the breakout star. Like
I see.
they're
what
all
you
kind
mean.
of good. You know what I mean? They're all kind of good, but like I don't know. Like I just don't feel like they have.
No one's standing out above the
Yeah.
rest, kind of thing.
I think the whole breakout star thing. Paige and Pac was good, and also the triple threat for the tag titles that was good.
Yeah.
But I think really the breakout thing probably won't come for a while because at the moment Riho is just sitting on top of the mountain there, and what they're doing I think is they're bringing in like a lot of the veterans to do that. And actually let me start over, because I think as far as breakout stars go, I think Britt Baker is probably the closest that they're going to have to that sooner or later.
It could be. I mean, she hasn't yet. Like,
No, she hasn't yet.
done,
but I think they're just kind of focusing on getting, pardon the expression, into full gear really, and then I think probably by like next year they'll probably like really have a much more solid women's division. I think right now they're getting the American fans and the Japanese fans, because you bring in Emi Sakura, and if you know anything about Joshi Pro Wrestling, then that's a big deal. So,
right. But yeah, and I know AEW has much more of that type of fan base.
Yeah,
but I'm sure there's also a lot of American fans who don't really have an idea.
That's the challenge. You got to build these people up.
Yeah,
you know?
It also could be a fact that they don't want to have a breakout star yet, and let you just kind of see what they all can do.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. They came in with a lot of men with a lot of star power. The women have star power, but not as much as like the Bucks and Cody and everything. The closest they probably have to that much star power is probably be like Awesome Kong.
Yeah,
Who's doing her
hair capture thing? You know,
and honestly, I'm not even sure. I wonder how. I mean, again, the hardcore fans probably. How many casual fans realize she's the same person from Glow? Like, I'm not even sure a lot of people.
Well, her very brief stint in WWE. Impact fans would probably remember.
Oh, Impact fans remember,
definitely.
obviously. Yeah.
But I mean, I just keep thinking, because if AEW wants to get bigger, I know they're kind of that niche thing, but you got to get those casual fans watching TNT to be like, oh yeah, Wrestling War again, that kind of stuff, and you got to start drawing them in a little bit, at least you would think.
And that takes time, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see. This also goes back to what we were saying earlier about I think it was before the camera was rolling, about like the Monday Night War. See, this is where like this isn't necessarily a full on war, especially not right now.
Yeah.
Because I think and honestly I think the main reason that they're not doing that is because Jericho's in the room and Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross saying, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's just have some good shows.
Have some patience.
Yeah, it's like, because they're not selling out every single show or anything like that, but they're getting really good numbers.
Yeah.
Of course they have empty spaces in their buildings. Of course they have empty seats and rows. And
but everybody does. WWE does as well. So,
I'm not even knocking that. I mean, like at this point, par for the course, because wrestling fans are a little bit jaded by WWE in a way, so they're not really that optimistic about what else is out there. But I think just the more that they keep, building this stuff up, if they have the crazy stories, like, when people hear people hear over the internet, hey, you hear that Awesome Kong and Brandy Rhodes are cutting women's hair and she's keeping it, and they're like, they're doing what to what hair and hey, did you hear like that guy used to be Dean Ambrose, beat up Kenny Omega and put him through barbed wire? He did what, where, when, and how?
And broken glass.
Yeah. Did you hear Chris Jericho's there? Chris Jericho still wrestles, and that'll be how people get to AEW.
Yeah, give it time. The fans will come around. More the mainstream fans, I would say, the casual fans. I think they've just. I think right now, honestly, they're doing this for the diehards. Yeah, I think this for the diehards.
That's kind of where their niche was when they started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think they're still while they're growing their market, they're still appeasing to that diehard market until they get there.
Yep. Our pick results for Full Gear. Mike and I went 3-2, and Tommy and Tina went 4-1.
Yes.
Wow. Yep. Hey, we all got winning records. So, time for our WrestleCast ratings: 0 to 5. 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. I'll go first. For me, this one, I mean, it's pretty much on par with where I thought Full Gear was. The final, I mean, the main event. Well, I guess you could say the lights out main event was. I mean, I knew it was going to be violent. I didn't think it was going to be that violent. And that was crazy, crazy good for me. So, for me, this was a 4.25 on the show, on the night. Solid B there. So, Mike, what about you?
I think I'll probably go about a 4.
Okay.
It's real solid, and I think they're kind of getting into that groove of, like, they got the TV show now, like we talked about. Like, one thing I've just kind of been wondering how their AEW is going to work, because, like, when they were just putting on the shows every couple months or every other month, you still get fresh. Now you got the weekly shows. Mm-hmm. You get to see more stars now, but there's also certain things that are a little less special because you start seeing these people a little more regularly. The match at the end though was ridiculous.
Yeah.
The unsanctioned match, it was crazy, but I really feel like they did a job of, like, making it look super dangerous and being as safe as they could. And I don't, you kind of mentioned it, but we even talked about like Adam Page got a clean win on Pac.
Pac, yes.
Which, tonight that they kind of went back and forth on that, but the match, like, he got a win out of that, and it's a solid show. But again, like we kind of just talked about it, I think they still have a lot of room to grow, and I don't want to throw out that higher 5, close to 5 rating until they put on that show where you're like, oh my god, like,
where it's just like
we're just talking about
the rest. Yeah. All right, Tommy, what about you?
4.25. A lot of the same reasons as both of you guys. But see, the thing is with me with the match, like you said, I could tell it was more dangerous, and they were still trying to be safe. But here, I think the reason is. And I'm going to go back to old school ECW. One of my favorite matches is probably one of the least, it should be the least emulated match of all time, and that was the barbed wire match between Terry Funk and Sabu. And no one get me wrong, I love that match. My God, no one tried to recreate it because they got so tangled up at one point that they had to, like, stop the match for a minute to cut them free, or else they were going to, like, slice. So, yeah, they were being as safe as possible, which you kind of can't do with broken glass, but whatever.
Well,
it's prop glass.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's like, I've read that was prop glass. They said, like, I've had people say, like, if you were really dragged across glass, you would have shown a lot more cuts than they did. I mean, they still took some hard ones, like you said, the Phoenix Splash to the boards, like, you can't.
Yeah,
you just hit
that the barbed wire, but the bed thing.
That also supposedly. So the first time they brought out barbed wire, again, these are just things I've kind of been reading and hearing. I don't know if they're 100% true, but the barbed wire they started the match with was real.
Yeah.
So when they got to that, like, not all of that was true barbed wire. The whole little.
Okay.
But again, like, and I'm not knocking it all. I'm saying they made it look like they were trying to kill each other, and yet I honestly think, like, they kept each other as safe as they could, except for a few things. Like, again,
it wasn't as bloody as it could have been,
right? And I'm not even.
I think even for AEW, they're still trying to, like, not go as that route all the time.
Yeah.
Like, because I think when they had. Damn, I forgot the name of the show. Double or Nothing. When Dustin got busted open, they have that. They have a few moments here and there. But I think they're trying to avoid having what I like to call Raven matches, where literally Raven could not do a drop toe hold without busting himself wide open. And this is me being the biggest Raven fan you'll ever meet. I am a huge fan of Raven. The dude could not do a headlock without having to feel the need to bust up in his scalp. And I love Raven, but jeez.
I know y'all probably don't listen to his podcast regularly.
Yeah. I don't listen regularly. Whenever I can.
There's a guy who keeps emailing in, and you talk about a bloody match. Just remember, like, his running joke is somehow he works in blading vertically the hard way. Okay. Like, he just keeps like getting this into his email somehow, and Raven loves it. Like, he's like, oh yeah, like he plays it off like it's normal thing. But that's
wow.
Wow. All right, that brings our overall rating to 4.167.
Cool.
Solid show, AEW. We look forward to the next one. I don't think they've announced it yet.
They haven't announced it yet.
So we're still waiting on that. All right, now we're getting into Pro Wrestling Illustrated's 2019 Women's 100. We have the 100 in front of us, and I'll just say, much like the PWI 500, it's based off of match results. I believe it's the same criteria as far as like having a certain number of matches or at least one match in 7 months. The evaluation period is from October 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2019. This is, first of all, let's just start right here. Everybody thought Becky Lynch should have been number one last year, but with the evaluation period, she didn't really start her man push until towards the end of the evaluation period. But no argument here, no surprise here. Becky Lynch comes in at number one. I'll quickly read through the top 10.
Yep.
And starting at number 2, it gets interesting. Number 2, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Number 3, Ronda Rousey. So the main event from WrestleMania is 1, 2, and 3.
Not surprising.
With the person taking the pin falling to number 3. Let's just throw that out there.
I just am surprised that Ronda is not number 2.
Yeah. Well, she took the pin. That's why.
That's true.
4, Shayna Baszler. 5, Tessa Blanchard. 6, Bayley. 7, Natalya. 8, Io Shirai. 9, Mercedes Martinez. And 10, Nicole Savoy.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Tommy likes number 10.
I like 10 and 9 because, first of all, I've met Nicole Savoy. She's a sweetheart. She works hard. She deserves it. Number 9, Mercedes Martinez should always be at least number 1 or number 2. She is one of the greatest of all time, and I will fight anyone who disagrees. Sorry.
Okay. We know where Tommy feels about that. So
she'll be here. She'll be here this Saturday, by the way, at BOW.
Yeah. That's right. She is.
Yep.
That's right. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to unpack here. Some surprises. Obviously, this was a very interesting year for women's wrestling. Of course, the launch of AEW, although the pay-per-views themselves or the TV shows themselves didn't start until after this evaluation period, we did see some high-profile women's matches with the pay-per-views. And, of course, the women's tag team titles on WWE TV. Mm-hmm. So they had women's tag team titles. I think the first time that playing a role in it, as well as kind of a resurgence of the Impact Women's division.
Yeah.
So, Tina, of course, is not joining us tonight. Probably watching Disney Plus. But anyway.
Oh, we're not watching it. Sorry.
Okay, she had a lot of notes here on that, and she right out of the bat, she thinks Tessa Blanchard should be 2 or 3.
And she says Charlotte Flair should be number 1. I can see the notes.
No, it's an arrow pointing down.
Kidding,
it's an arrow pointing down.
Oh, I hope she watches this and has a brief, flash of anger on her face. Like, what?
She basically thinks that it should.
She said all the blondes 1 through 5.
2 and 3, she thinks should probably be Shayna Baszler and Tessa Blanchard. Not necessarily in that order, but there's an argument there.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. One that really shocked her. Why is Natty at 7?
Yeah, I mean
that's fair.
Yeah.
So high, like she's solid and she's always there, usually taking the loss.
That's
the thing. Yeah, taking the loss.
Right. I mean, she's always there, and she's like, I don't even know if she missed much time, but I agree, 7 is
pretty high.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one that shocked her was the fact that Sasha Banks, even after all the time she took off, is still 14 on this list.
Yeah, I mean
that should be a lot lower.
Okay.
English.
Like 14.
Yeah.
And looking at some of the names below it, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like Taya Valkyrie for one,
is way too high.
Probably could be higher than Sasha. We'll say that.
No, I think Taya Valkyrie is
about where she should be.
Okay. I would put her above Sasha, but I think she should be where she is. She's been champion for nearly a year now, dude.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Greatest. Oh, we had this.
But there's the crazy part about that is that, I mean, she beat Tessa for the title, but you look at where their career projection has gone. Yeah, Ty's going up. Tessa's just skyrocketing.
Yeah.
The feud with Gail getting put over, and now she's, in this January, wrestling Sami Callihan for the title.
Yeah.
At Turning Point. At Turning Point, Hard to Kill. So, crazy.
But again, so like another one that's I feel kind of high, and again, I know she got high profile for a while there, but Lacey Evans. Like she's 23,
and I think, and see the problem with this list is like some of the people who I have issue where they're placing is I love them and I love them as they like from like interviews and them as people and them as performers. I think Carmella and Naomi are kind of high.
Naomi for sure, I would say, because she hasn't really been on TV since WrestleMania. Lacey Evans, like I'll agree with you, is definitely high because she didn't really come out until after Mania.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, keep talking. Pretend I didn't step away for a second.
Okay.
I'll be good.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Keep talking.
All right, we're talking.
We're talking.
I don't know what Mike's doing, but anyway.
Me either.
With Lacey Evans, she hasn't. I mean, sure, she's been more prominent since Mania, but she hasn't won anything.
And she hasn't, and like aside from, and I think this is actually after the cutoff point, right? And like the big thing really that she did was the whole Crown Jewel thing.
Her and Natty,
wasn't that after?
That was after the cutoff.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She had the main event like right after Mania. She was always with Corbin.
Yeah, but
getting some Becky, but she kept losing.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that was like a 3-month period.
Yeah. It's nothing but losses.
And okay, I have to put on my Japanese wrestling hat for a minute.
Hi.
Okay. Excuse me for a minute.
Are you going to speak English or Japanese?
I'm going to be English.
Okay.
I'm just going to be angry when I do this.
Are
Are you kidding me? Hana Kimura and Hikaru Shida are 61 and 62. Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, let's put it this way. Peyton Royce is 49 and Billy Kay is 57.
I know.
To be joking, man.
Thank you very much. When they were like probably, arguably, the biggest high-profile tag team champions that the WWE has had for the women. So they're
just high profile. Period. They were probably on TV the most out of
honestly.
Yes, and Dana Brooke is 52.
Let's be honest. WWE probably has been like, wait, we haven't changed those titles in 2 weeks. Let's get someone else.
I sadly agree with what you just said, but
because they never gave anyone a consistent run since they've started. So.
Yeah. It is good to see Toni Storm at 13. She had a great run with the NXT UK Women's title. Rhea Ripley is at 35. Of course, I think part of this evaluation period she was injured there towards the end. Jordan Grace, very happy to see her at 26.
And Maroon 27.
And Maroon 27. Maybe a little lower depending on how her injury recovers.
Yeah.
Tommy, what do you think about Kelly?
I'm trying to also be calm about that, but I'm not because she should be higher too. She's been on TV.
That's the thing. That's another thing is like we talk about ROH and how far fallen it is. Their women's champion is 29, and I don't think there's any other ROH women's talent. Mayu Iwatani, excuse me, is at 16, although she's kind of.
But Mayu should if we're going on number of like period matches and everything, then I fully believe Mayu Iwatani Kagetsu being higher than like Hana Kimura and Hikaru Shida, I understand, but they should still all be higher. Because honestly, I would put Iwatani over Sasha Banks. I really would, because of the number of matches she's had. And I would put Kelly Klein maybe not over Sasha Banks, but I put her a lot closer than that. But okay.
Su Yung, who is now Susie in Impact. I'm enjoying that, by the way.
Wait, say it again.
So Su Yung.
I don't
know if you noticed this, but on Impact. Suddenly she's been reborn and now she's just Susie, this prim and proper girl.
I missed that,
and she's just freaking people out because she's like, "Hi, I'm Susie. Have we met?" And they're all freaking out. I was like, the Dinas were like, "She's scarier now than she was back then."
I gotta catch up with the Impact.
So all of a sudden she awoken from being killed in that form, and now she's just this prim and proper, wears white. She's like, "Hi, I'm Susie," walking around. It's like. What the hell's going on?
You know what I want now, right? Awesome. I want Rosemary and Jessica Havoc to be in a match, and her just walk out, and they just stop wrestling. Like, what the?
She even freaked out Jessica Havoc in her profile. She's like, "What the hell is going on?" It's very funny, but Su Yung, of course, 31. She's now Susie. Biggest one, I think, for us, San Antonio people, maybe we're a little bit biased. Thunder Rosa made the list at 97. So congrats to Thunder Rosa. I think
next year she's going to be way.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Like her stock is going up.
Great showing in your MMA fight, by the way. Congratulations on your MMA debut.
We
went the distance, and let's be honest. None of us have the balls to get in a cage
That's
against
what,
professional
dude. That's exactly what I was telling her.
Wait,
Well,
to fight or take a picture?
Yeah.
Dude, that's exactly what I was telling her. I was like, because me and my friends, we were at the ROH meet and greet. Shout out to Wrestling Collectibles and RCW for that.
Oh, yeah.
And we were doing a live video, and she's like, "Oh, where are you guys at?" And she came and met us, and we got a picture with her. And that's why I told her, I was like, you know what? I really don't care if you lost. You got in the ring. None of us in this circle
went the distance too.
And went the distance.
Fight, yeah.
It's like there was no shame in this whatsoever. Because I know her. She's like I know she would love to have won.
Of course.
Because she's a competitor. Like she's got that fire. She's a competitor. But I was like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. You went the distance of your first fight, and my God. Because the one punch from me, I'm like, you know what? Okay, you know what? This wasn't fun. This isn't fun anymore, guys. I'll see you guys like later. All right, bye.
Yeah. By the way, check out her interview with Tacos and Tap Outs. They did interview a couple months ago about her, and her story is it's pretty insane. If you haven't listened to it yet, it's pretty cool.
Also, rewatch old NWA Power like last 2 weeks with her and Marty Bell. It's just I just love seeing her. She's fantastic.
Okay. Some other notables on this list, of course, the trivia. When Tina, Tommy, and I went over this, I asked you guys one trivia question: who are the only two people that have been on the list all the years that they've done this? When it was the the female 50 to the women's 100, those same two people have appeared yet again, so they're keeping that streak going. Natalia at number 7 and Lufisto at 34. Still, the only two women that have appeared on every incarnation of this women's list. So,
how long has it been out again? You said
this is the 11th year now, I think. Wow. Yeah,
that sounds about right.
So.
Another one, like, just kind of shocked because I feel like we haven't seen her forever. Mickey James is like at 73.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
After Mania, she's kind of
right.
I think she was injured for a while.
I mean, she might have been. I feel like we haven't seen her.
Yeah, I think she was injured, and then they. So that's probably why.
Yeah. Now, predictions for the future of this list. For one, I can definitely. Huh?
Veda Scott. I've followed her since we saw her.
In the ECW days, yeah.
She's just hilarious.
Veda Scott's fantastic.
Yeah. Casey Catanzaro will probably fall off a little bit more. She's not on WWE TV anymore. I could definitely see Sonya Deville and Manny Rose being a lot higher.
Yeah.
Peyton Royce and Billy Kay. I'm not sure where they're going to go from here because they really haven't been on TV in a while. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure what's going on there with that. I don't know if it's injuries or what. So, and obviously I don't think Awesome Kong's on here. But now with the prominence of AEW, we're probably going to see her making a return to this list.
Well, she needs to start getting more regular matches.
Yeah. Which we could definitely see.
Well,
so.
I think she's, also she's more of a coach also.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
In AEW, which I mean, could you get a better coach? But
Yeah, she's kind of been reborn a bit with this new kind of gimmick thing.
Yeah.
So.
Did Tina say anything about Bianca Belair? Because she's another one I think could have been a little bit higher. She had a pretty strong run for a while. I know she didn't quite get over the top and win the title.
36. She didn't say anything, but I have a feeling she would.
20s.
I think she. This is the thing. Bianca Belair had such a great run with it. Had such a great run trying to go after Shayna's title, and then after she lost that match, it's kind of been like it's falling off and everything. Yeah. So maybe that's why they put her right there.
Could be.
Now I mentioned, of course, this should probably be the women's 101.
Just so random.
Because shortly after they released this list, and now the issue you can buy digitally on pwi-online.com, and the digital edition is $3.99. You can also order a print issue for $4.49 plus $2 shipping and handling. We have a subscription, so hopefully it's in the mail pretty soon. Now, shortly after the list was released, and yes, there's a lot of quality control ever since I forgot to record once. We do that a little bit here on this show, but they forgot to put somebody in the list. And the official PWI tweeted on November 1st, "We at PWI offer a heartfelt apology to Kairi Sane, who was inadvertently left off of the Women's 100. She was slated to go in at 16. We're not sure how this happened. We offer no excuses." And that message was from Stu Sachs.
I'm sure if they would have had the
scope, probably could have found her. So Kairi Sane, according to this, would have been put in at 16 right before Mayu Iwatani and right after Taya
everyone
Valkyrie.
moves down one behind her?
That would be my guess, is that was supposed to happen.
So like craps to Chris Statlander.
She should be 101.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, what can you do? It's hey, they made a goof. I'll make mistakes. I get that. Kyrie, for her credit, replied to it and just said, "Don't worry about it." You know.
Yeah, that's why she's evil now. She's like, she took that. She took it personally.
Yeah,
that's why her and Oscar are just.
She said, "Don't worry about it."
That's why her and Oscar make sure they get in the top 10 next year.
Wait, she was like, "No, don't worry about it." She went to bed that night. I was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah,
they left me off. I'm angry. She called Oscar. Oscar, put on green face paint. Okay.
So we're gonna play her theme just kind of a tribute because you should be on this list. So funny how that balances out because the PWI 500 was really the PWI 499 because Caristico was on there twice. So it's really the 499, and then they forgot somebody on this list, so it's the PWI Women's 101. Either way you look at it, it balances out to 600 people. So,
well,
hashtag math.
Hashtag math. Interesting thing too on this issue, not Women's 100 related though, is that on the little power rankings that they have for each promotion, for the first time in a long time, Jay Lethal has fallen out of the top 10 for Ring of Honor's power rankings.
Wow.
But
he's injured.
Yeah, Tessa Blanchard debuted in at number 7 on Impact's rankings, and this is rankings they do men and women together. So,
sounds all right.
Yeah. Now, as far as other predictions for the future, if Tessa keeps this run going, I think we could very well easily see Tessa Blanchard number 1 on next year's PWI Women's 100.
Honestly, I kind of hope so.
Yeah. Especially if she beats Sami Callihan at some point in the next year. So, I really look forward to seeing that. I really hope that's the route that they go with it. So.
Me too.
All right. Let us know your thoughts on the PWI Women's 100. You can let us know your thoughts. You can let the PWI magazine know their thoughts. Their Twitter account is @officialPWI, of course.
Be nice people.
Yes, SCC_WrestleCast.
Or be jerks. It's whatever.
Like the PWI 500. This is always debatable. But
I hate you.
Pick up the issue. Check it out yourself.
One last thing, Tommy. Actually, I heard JC earlier said that Alexa Bliss should have been number 9. So I don't.
When did I say that? I didn't say that.
I will end you both.
She's fine where she was hurt most of this period, so I was very happy.
She's not better than Mercedes Martinez. Okay.
I didn't say that.
Sorry.
When she's healthy, she is. Anyway, I'm kidding. I love Mercedes Martinez.
Just being Christian.
Fine. I'll tell you said that.
Okay. My wife was Mercedes and Melissa's manager for a match.
I'll drive her to your house when she's here.
Because now Tommy's going to tell us the time he found the first ever DVD.
Yes, exactly.
Love you guys.
I said I was sorry.
I know. We're just kidding. Maybe.
No, you're not.
Also, another notable on here, Soraya Knight, sweet Soraya Knight is 39. Paige's mom is still hard at work in the wrestling
business. Played by Cersei and Fighting with My Family.
Yes.
Soraya Knight's awesome.
Yep. All right. Now on to some little bit of news of the week. Let's start off with one that, had we recorded last night, we really wouldn't have had talked about this at all in this episode, but thankfully we kind of waited a day. CM Punk.
Oh, I thought you about the other one.
We'll talk about that too. But CM Punk, first of all, we knew about it for a while. He had interviewed for it, and it's one of those things where you say never in the wrestling business. But CM Punk is going to be an analyst on WWE Backstage on Fox Sports 1. Made his kind of return to WTV to the surprise of everybody on stage except Renee Young.
Yeah.
So very cool intro.
I was like half asleep when I heard this. I mean, when they sent it to me, so I watched it and it like snapped me awake all. I was like, "What the actual?"
Yeah. The reactions of Adam Cole and Samoa Joe were just priceless.
Yeah.
Because I saw it on Twitter and all I saw was that just happened, and I was like, "Oh, what?" And I was like, "Oh,
yeah." Music played and everything.
I wonder if when Joe and Punk saw each other, that immediately they both have like back pain.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. So.
Oh God!
The word I've been hearing though, the way it's worked out is he's technically under contract with Fox.
That's correct
for their TV show.
Yes,
but it it's not olive branch. It's WWE's cool with it. So.
I mean, it's just that we've come that close.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
He's not a WWE employee. He's you said, employee of Fox Sports. So he had to audition through them. He had to go through them. Right. I don't think he's going to be on every week, but he's going to be offering some analysis. And if you know Punk, it's going to be his honest thoughts about what he sees on TV. So don't mess up, people.
Actually, I want to ask him right off the bat about the Lana Rusev.
I really hope they ask him about that.
Oh my God, please!
I really hope they ask him about that.
But also, I don't know if y'all saw Seth Rollins just tweeted @CM Punk fight me.
Oh yeah.
And then the Fiend, I don't remember what he tweeted, but I heard he also
Ricochet's chiming in on that too.
really.
Yeah.
There are a lot of stars in WWE's roster that Punk would have some dream matches with. And let's face it, he's got his foot in the door. Maybe eventually he'll be back in the ring. We'll see.
Hey, come on, Palo. Oh, you want? Oh.
And the next step is maybe AJ Lee, because I think Paige was already. You told me was already asking where's AJ.
That's supposedly like.
Or you told me, or Tina told me where's AJ.
Well, we made it both of them, but
Yeah.
she tweeted that too. Like, where's AJ Lee? That was my first thought.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's very exciting to see. For people saying that like he's selling out. No, he's not. Okay, you guys chanted for
that
this
arena. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
I say like. I mean, it doesn't surprise. I haven't seen anyone say that, but it doesn't surprise me. People say that. It's like he's selling out. Literally, y'all chant his name every single show.
Yeah.
You know what superpower I want?
What?
I want the superpower to go find these people who say that, and every time they have a chance to make money for something, be like, whoa, don't take that money. You got to sell out, man. Huh?
Don't take that cushy new job. You're selling out.
What are your values, huh? Like, just come on, people.
I mean, and it's not like he has gone back and because he said online, oh yeah, no, they never wronged me at all. I was just driven. No, he's like saying, yeah, it sucked what happened, but you never say never in wrestling, So
you never say never, and I really hope they have the conversation with him and Triple H and Vince McMahon about everything that happened. So. And Stephanie McMahon for his wife calling her out on her bullshit.
What if he came out to like lead NXT at Survivor Series?
That'd be fantastic,
dude.
I just
the new Nexus.
Him and Triple H with that Austin McMahon. Hair.
Yeah,
oh gosh,
that'd be that would be great.
No, it would be more Macho Man and Hogan Mega Powers handshake.
Everyone knows.
But to me, it's like. Okay, first of all, if you ever chanted CM Punk at any arena, I don't care if you were just joining in on the crowd. You can never call him a sellout. You've lost all rights.
Yeah.
And another
the only people that should be chanting for him are Chicago.
Yeah, it's another thing. If he had come in just like he did with I was wrong. They never did. No, plus he's not coming in immediately as a superstar. He's coming in as an analyst, which a lot of people have said. This is not a guarantee that he'll ever wrestle again. Because he said multiple times he's not interested in it at the moment. Could that change? Sure.
Yeah,
things could change.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't want to, I'm like, okay, I can still go watch Punk matches. I have DVDs and everything and the networks and all that. So I can watch his great matches beforehand. No reason to not enjoy those from the past. If he wants to get back in the ring, more power to him. But, at this point, I'm like, whatever happens. I'm getting enough wrestling, period, so I'm good.
And I think it's safe to say we're going to see a ratings jump for WWE Backstage.
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. And,
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just for a quick story, because I was telling JC this earlier. There was, I don't know if you saw it, but someone earlier today tweeted and Jericho retweeted, and they were like, hey, remember the Jericho versus Punk battle about best in the world? Well, one of them's world champion of the hottest wrestling in the business, and the other one's an analyst on the show that's all crap now. And I was like, here, how about I fix this for you? Remember that feud between Punk and Jericho? It was awesome and entertaining. Then two of them made decisions, and went on different paths depending on what they wanted to do, made tons of money, and are super happy. Good for both of them. I was like, why do you got to bring it up and crap on
exactly?
Jericho's doing awesome.
Yeah,
he's the champ. He's loving his life. Punk did what he wanted to do. He tried MMA, didn't do too well, but he tried it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he's trying.
You can say that he tried it. He had the balls to do it.
Yeah, so. I mean, Punk's having fun with.
I doubt he's.
Punk's having fun analyzing, and Jericho's enjoying a little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah.
So
Punk made a movie. He's like a horror actor now too.
Yeah.
I really don't think there's a point to bring up to bring up the past to remember the matches like those were fun, that was a fun story, that kind of thing. But to try to compare they are in their lives now, I never thought that was a fair comparison. You can't compare what people are doing to like who's doing better, because if this is what Punk wants to do, then he's doing just fine. This is what Jericho wants to do, he's doing fine. Jericho could just as easily have gotten an analyst job, and I would absolutely watch a show where Jericho's analyzing pro wrestling.
He could have just easily stayed being a rock and roll star and stayed out of wrestling. For a while, it looked like that's what he was doing.
Or he could have just been in AEW as a coach.
Yeah.
I think they would have paid him just as much to be a coach.
So let people do what they want to do. Like let's be honest. I mean, we not to get off on another subject, but there's clearly a lot of people in certain locker rooms that aren't necessarily doing what they want to, and they may be locked into things. So
Yep.
You know,
And
when you
with
got the
that
power,
interesting choice of words,
well, I didn't mean it that way, but that does kind of segue, doesn't it?
It does segue perfectly into our next topic here. This news came out probably a few hours ago.
So you know how to edit and beep things out, right?
I do not edit and beep things out. I'm debating if I should play this video, and I'm probably going to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a live Twitter live thing that I'm just going to say the artist formerly known as Jordan Myles has put up. And I think this pretty much is the final statement he will make regarding his time in WWE. It's playing right now. Let's everybody take a listen.
As of today, I'd like to officially announce that I quit fucking WWE. I am no longer an employee. I refuse to work for racist. I fucking quit. Fuck them. I hate that fucking company and everything they fucking stand for. All they did was ever hold our people back. I do this shit for the culture. I don't need anyone's fucking permission to do what I want to do. Screw Jordan Myles. Don't ever call me by that slave name. Call me ACH and don't forget the super bitch. I quit. Fuck you.
So the final F-bomb that he had at the end, and why he hesitated real quick, is while he was doing the Twitter live, somebody messaged in, "What's up, Uncle Tom?" And that really got to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if that's going to show up when if I can get the video up here or not. But he's no longer Jordan Myles. We won't call him that anymore. We've of course always known him as ACH, Super ACH. Let's just throw this out there real quickly and just get this question out of the way. I don't believe it is, and if you're watching this, ACH, just don't get offended. We're just throwing this out there for argument's sake.
Argument's sake, yeah.
Could this in any possible way be a work?
No.
I got to be honest. It would be a really horrible thing if it was. Like, just
Yeah.
I kind of mentioned it last week or the last time when we talked about this first time.
Mhm.
You know, the WWE always uses real life things and melds them in, and sometimes you're like, whoa, that's kind of crossing the line. But what he's getting angry about and the stance he's looking to take, and look, I like we kind of said before, I'm not black, you know, but I just feel like if it wound up, it was just kind of a work, and that really wasn't all the way he felt, I feel that just makes him look bad overall. And again, I assume it's not.
I assume it's not either, but
you know, that's just that's not. I mean, I know we were like, oh, WWE needs to be edgier and blah blah blah, but that's just not a road I would go down. But
yeah.
Well,
that's why I don't
okay.
think it is.
So I don't think it's a work. So let me make that clear. I don't think it's a work. But even if it was, I don't think it would be a case of this is not how he actually feels. Even if it was to fuel a story, I don't think it would be against how he feels. Honestly, I think it would just be the almost, if ironically enough, the CM Punk like pipe bomb of this particular era.
Yeah.
It's how he honestly feels, but how they would work it in. But I don't think that's what they're doing. I just think this is how he feels, and he's actually done.
Yeah.
But I really don't think any part of this at all would ever be like, not how he actually feels, because a lot of people have the same like argument. I mean, and this has gone back for years. I mean, guys like Farouk, he was, world champion, even in WCW. One of the things he's most known for when he came to WWF was Nation of Domination. I mean, he kind of broke out of that kind of stereotype when he did the Acolytes and and then the APA afterwards, which is cool. But even another people who make the argument, especially when those came up, another argument that came up was for R-Truth, when he was, K-Quick, when he was first in WWF with Road Dogg, and then when he went to TNA, he changed his name to Raw and the Truth Killings, and then became a two-time world champion in NWA.
A lot more serious.
Yeah, a lot more serious. Now the reason R-Truth is different at this point is because I think he's towards the end of his career, he's just having some fun with it.
Oh yeah. But
at the time, that made a lot of sense. He even cut a promo to Ricky Steamboat about that point, which made a lot of sense. Other guys who've had similar, like they always have to fit. Basically, I think like we said before, whereas other wrestlers of Caucasian descent, take that for what you will, can choose their character just based on whatever, it can be of their background, it cannot be. It can be of certain catchphrases. Burn it down. Where you have those, you have a lot of black wrestlers who have to come in and fit a certain stereotype one way or the other.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I mean, it's weird to me only because it's like guys like on the indie circuit, like if anyone's ever heard of Mysterious Q, he's a great wrestler out of Houston, Booker T school. He's a masked wrestler, and and he's African American. You don't see that too much, but he's great, and he doesn't have a typical black guy gimmick. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but that's what it is. He's a masked wrestler who's just good at wrestling. You have you can have African American wrestlers who will do a myriad of things. Booker T even had to break out of that initially in WCW, and they call them because they were Harlem Heat, and they weren't even from Harlem.
Yeah, exactly.
They were from Houston. Yeah. so why did the two black dudes just have to be from Harlem? I don't understand this.
I think honestly his biggest gripe about this whole situation is the statement where it seemed like WWE was deflecting any sort of blame for the issue. They seem to want to put it on him, saying, well, he approved it, kind of thing. And maybe he felt like, I don't know what's in his mind there. I would love to pick your brain about ACH. Please, let us know if you want to. You can do like a short interview and just kind of talk about it.
Probably can't for a while though.
Yeah, I would understand that. Honestly, yeah, he's saying he's quit. I don't know his contract details, honestly, and with the competition right now, they're not letting anybody out of it. So I don't know what they're going to do if they're going to try and hold his contract hostage and not let him work anywhere. So,
yeah. They did that to Neville for a full year. All that did was give Neville a year off. And then Pac re-debuted as the Bastard, and you can't. It's hard to do. It's hard to do better than Dragon Gate.
Yeah,
as soon as you come back, it really is.
He is. This was kind of the big fight too with Punk as well. They are independent contractors.
Yeah,
and this could be the whole legal fight that sets it up. It's like, hey, maybe I can go. I can do wherever I want. I'm an independent contractor, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if he cancels the contract, whatever. But
yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just you look at that last video he just made, and you guys know him a lot more than I do, because like y'all are a lot more. Y'all befriended a lot more wrestlers that we've met. Y'all literally like will contact them and talk to them on a regular basis. Like I've never really done that. People may not believe this watching videos, but I'm actually really socially awkward. Which people I don't know. So like we've met a bunch of wrestlers, but I've never really like, oh, hey, let's become friends and keep in touch and talk about sports and stuff. Like that's just, that's kind of not me.
JC and Homicide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Homicide. Nice throwing an asterisk on the Astros 2017 World Series. That's not funny, okay? I love you, bro, but you kiss my ass, all right? God dang it. Anyway.
You did that for real?
Yeah, he posted a picture. Hey, they updated the banner, put an asterisk on 2017. You dick. Anyway, awesome. Go ahead.
No, but I was just going to say, like, honestly, too...
You stop laughing.
I don't know him that well, and so maybe I'll know him a little better. But like, also like the amount of anger he has in that video, like I'm literally concerned for him. Like,
no, yeah,
that seems
yeah,
like
that's.
Obviously he's angry and stuff, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know you. I just like, we followed you since we can remember seeing you here in Texas. We've hoped, for great things for you since you started. I don't know. Like, I won't mention any names, but. I actually, and I've told y'all this, y'all know, but several years ago, I'm a teacher. I had two students whose dad was one of the people that helped train him. Like we found all this out, and like I remember talking. They're like, "Oh yeah, we know ACH. Like he's always over there. He's real good friends with our dad because he trained him." And they were like, "Oh yeah, he's going to be in NXT in a year. Like we all believe it." And it wound up being a few more years, and he got there. And we've just always wanted to see you succeed and become the star you are.
Yeah.
It sucks you had to go through this, and I hope you honestly have a support system, because, like, there's a lot of anger there, and I get it. And I just hope there's people there, not to fuel your anger, but, to help you through it as best as I can.
To channel it. To someone to vent to, I guess you can say, and even if it's us, let us know. But, We wanted to see him there. We wanted him to succeed. We were all happy when he won the breakout tournament, got the match with Adam Cole, and this happened. But like I've said, maybe this is a combination of things he saw, and he hit a breaking point. Now,
it seems like it. Yeah.
Obviously he's super ACH now, and I'm fine with that. I like that they kind of kept that, or he's keeping that. Obviously, he has the rights to it. Deep down, I don't think it's a work. But obviously, if they hold him to his contract and they're able to work something out, bring him back as ACH and use this as fuel. I mean, the best characters, I think Jericho has said this, as Steve Austin said it, the best characters are yourselves turned up to an 11.
I mean, it really would help if they did, because that's like I said, going back to the see, I hate to keep using just CM Punk because he's not the only one who ever did this, but he was one who, just said what he was thinking, and then they kind of let him off his leash. Mm-hmm. A similar case was one time when Paul Heyman did the same thing, and he just went off on Vince about the ECW guys, and one of his points, and one of his points was like guys he's used like Taz. And like how he, didn't really use him to his full capabilities and things like that. Another really good one, before all this, was Joey Styles before they brought back ECW.
Yes.
Joey Styles had a fantastic promo.
I remember that one.
And there's no way you couldn't tell me a lot of what he was actually feeling didn't slip into that. Like, because that's that's how they that's how people sometimes just feel. They're just. They hit a limit. I think probably for ACH, it's probably a combination of whatever he went through in ROH. I still don't know all the details on that one. Mm-hmm. And this probably going from one prominent company to another, where this kind of thing was probably just commonplace, and he probably just got tired of it. I mean, it's different when you like go to like Japan and get treated differently because you're from because it's another country, so what do you expect? You're the gaijin, it's okay. But to be treated like this in your own country, for African Americans, it's a little tiresome. Mm-hmm. It's been 400 years, people. Like, can we stop being viewed this way? Can we let this go? And I know people are like saying, well, black people should get over slavery. Yeah, the second we're allowed to forget it, we'll get over it. The exact second we're allowed to forget it was ever a thing, we will get over it right away. The second we're allowed. Let me repeat that. The second we're allowed to forget, we will get over it.
It's an interesting turn this has. Now, it does put WWE in a bit of a spot. If they let him go, okay, great. And he's free to go wherever he wants. You could see him on the competition. But if they hang on to him, then they're not honoring what his request is. He doesn't want to work there. They're keeping him in a hostile work environment as he sees it. So we'll see what the next chapter of this is. But
and I guess that's just like why I'm not sure you can go back and do. Like, I know with wrestling there's always that, but like this isn't like, you've done crappy. You've treated your talent kind of crappily. You have really bad creative. Your stories are horrible. You're out of touch. Like, this is, you don't think I'm at the same level as a human being as you. Like, you don't see me as someone equal, and that's, I don't know. To me,
that's where
we all believe he really feels this way. I think we all kind of agree on that.
Oh yeah, we do.
I feel like that's a hard thing to get past and to work, but
it's a matter of. So I look at it this way: when you really study, like African American history, and like see things like, especially you hear things like Southern Trees Bear Strange Fruit, that song, and like the history of all that kind of stuff. It's hard not to see it in a lot of things, and see, because I was one of the people who did grow up knowing all that stuff. Like for some of my age and my generation, I think I probably know a lot more about African American history, the darker side of it than a lot of people do. And if you're taught all that, then you see you can see it when it's there. It's not something that you can ignore. But see, you can see it when it's there and still trying to work inside the system to change it. But when something like the T-shirt thing happens, that's not even trying to hide it. That, it's like that's just it. It's just out there, and it just gets to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on it as well. And like I said, ACH, we're here for you. We'll try and get in contact with you. Just reach out to us if you haven't. If you need someone to talk to.
And I'll just say this too, because I've seen some of the stuff posted. If you disagree with the way he's dealing with this or treating with this, I get that. But like we always say, keep your comments civil. Like you've already seen some of the things people have posted, responded to him, and it makes him look like he's right because they respond negatively. Like you can disagree with someone and keep it civil. We keep saying that here for different things.
Yeah.
Same thing. I know he said a lot of inflammatory things. If you disagree with it, that's fine. But keep it civil.
Yeah, but unless he directed it at you directly, I really don't think you can be inflammatory back at him.
Yep. All right, on to Wednesday night ratings update. Last week's Dynamite and NXT both recovered well from the World Series decline, and they are a lot closer. NXT, off the heels of their invasion of SmackDown and Raw, jumped to 813,000 viewers.
Which is fair. I really think that's a solid number.
Yeah.
I think even AEW was like, okay, that's okay.
AEW was at 822,000. Both increases. Like I said, NXT got a big boost. Of course, they had the OC on the show as well, and
that was fantastic.
That was really the only person they had because the rest of the Raw and SmackDown talent was overseas for a European tour. So,
but isn't it amazing when you have just the right talent who you know how to utilize how much things can different? That's amazing, Vince. When you utilize the talent correctly, how well things can go. I just thought I should point that out and repeat it out loud. Anyway, whatever. What were we talking about?
Let's just say, especially after that, man, Adam Cole's stock is just going through the roof.
God, yeah.
Adam Cole can write.
He's like the MVP of this past week and a half.
So real quick before we do the run, one guy asked, he was being fair. He's like, I don't like, not to be rude or anything. I just don't know much about him. What is so special about Adam Cole? Is like he's not the most flashy. You're right, he's not. But it's just something about his charisma way he carries himself. Because I agree. At first, Adam Cole was nothing that special to me. He wasn't all that flashy. But to me, it's just something about how he carries himself, how he just emits this when he went
his attitude,
this arrogant persona. It's just like he thinks he's God's gift, and then he kind of proves it.
Again, just that last week's win over Daniel Bryan was just,
and on barely any time because all of that talent.
The story started coming out.
Yeah, they arrived while Smack had just started.
The Heyman promo, I think.
During the Heyman promo, they got there. So literally, Baszler went from basically the bus to doing her part of it, and then he had barely any time to plan the match out with Daniel Bryan.
Why did they had to do all this? This is just to make me like Shayna Baszler. I mean, it's working, but is that why they did this?
Hey, it's looking good, man.
I mean, again, we have our problems with some of her matches, but she is looking like an all-star.
This is making her look like $1 million right now. I can't even remotely front.
She's improved vastly from when she started.
She really
I think that's the biggest thing.
I think what you guys pointed out, that's exactly what's bothering me. It wasn't her. It was how they booked the matches for her.
That's the biggest thing.
That was the biggest thing.
She plays her role.
She plays her role well. Yeah, she really does. I was like, it really, you're right. It really wasn't her. It was just how they were booking it.
Yeah. All right, that will lead us into our 1 minute warning. Mike, do you have what you think?
Sure, if I can just get my jingle to start it off.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
It's what they should have done with Cesaro this week with Mike.
All right.
So go. On this past SmackDown, Cesaro was in a tag team match with Nakamura against, was it Ali? No, who did they?
Well, it's now Mustafa Ali.
I was going to
say. And his team won.
They won.
He won. He was on the winning team.
Did he get a pin?
No. All right, let's not get crazy here.
It's worth a shot.
His team won. Nakamura got the pin, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I just hope as we go forward, Cesaro gets to be involved with some of this NXT stuff. Again, Cesaro and Walter, we talked about this when he showed up in NXT UK. Yes, please.
Yes,
please. And I just want to see him involved. Again, he's a great talent. Even if you're using to put over people, there's a lot more people he can work with that will just put on amazing matches. And on a small thing, honestly, I kind of want to see him save Sammy and help him out again. Kind of get them both back face a little bit. Yeah. I think that'd be cool, especially after what happened. I know he wasn't there literally, but after the beatdown he got the first week NXT invaded Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be cool if like sometime soon before Survivor Series they go after McGinn. Cesaro kind of helps him.
He went on the week after Corey Graves praised him on his podcast.
He went on
Cesaro's
there,
the week
listen to
after.
that.
So yeah, definitely check that out. It was pretty cool. All right, Tommy, I can see your phone. You got a little Japanese minute here.
Yep,
It's
sure do.
Tommy's Japanese Wrestling Minute.
Hey, yo.
Ikimasu. No.
Not sure if I say.
Okay, so this is coming from the Bushiroad owner and New Japan owner Taki Kadani. They recently bought Stardom.
Yes.
And so I'm just listening to what he said. The short-term plan, he wants to advertise Stardom as much as possible. I think even on NJPW. Indirectly promote Stardom events in NJ, like with pamphlets, commercials, inviting some of the wrestlers to be guest stars, announcers, that kind of thing. He's promoting Stardom in Bushiroad events in Japan and overseas. So the Bushiroad who owns New Japan, they're going to start promoting Stardom a lot more. The mid to long-term plan. After Stardom becomes more popular, he plans to add an IWGP Women's Championship.
Ooh, there we go.
And I'm going to go well over this minute. And he wants to, and honestly, I swear, I hope he gets this. He wants to bring back Io Shirai and Kairi Sane to Stardom.
Boy.
And I hope he gets Asuka
boy.
too. I want Kana back. I want Kana and Kairi Hojo back.
But this might work out well for them because now WWE is going to be like, 5-year contract, millions
Yeah,
of dollars.
dude, Vince better back the money truck up to their door to
Back
get
that truck up.
Make them a full stable too, for crying out loud.
Dude.
Yes.
Okay. Also, he's going to try to make an New Japan and Stardom collaboration show, and try to make Stardom events overseas. Here's the main reason why I'm bringing this up and going well over this minute.
Because New Japan over America, I assume.
There's that too.
Yeah.
But it's also the fact that he's making it clear though Stardom will still be a separate show. Like Stardom will be a separate entity. There will be IWGP Women's Championship, but that doesn't mean that Stardom is gone. There will just be both places. And honestly, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Not a thing.
He's basically buying the name brand. So
but it's so great. It's like it gives them a bigger platform because Mayu Iwatani, Audio Tai, Tokyo Cyber Squad, all those women in Stardom who put on these great matches, great shows every chance they get. Go on their YouTube, go on there I think Stardom. Well, I wonder if this means that they'll put Stardom under New Japan World.
Very possible.
Yeah, I hope he does.
But
Until then, Stardom does have their own kind of service and everything. Go back and watch the old matches, man. Go watch their current stuff. Like Hana Kimura, this is why I'm mad she's not higher. She left Audio Tai and formed her own stable Tokyo Cyber Squad, and it's doing really well now.
Cyber, like CY.
CYBER. Yeah, it's like, and it's so weird.
I thought you said Cypress for a second. That's why.
Oh no, it's all good.
Insane
But,
in the membrane.
But it's really cool to see that, and I'm glad that they're getting this platform. That's one reason I was so happy Bushiroad bought them and not WWE. I was so scared. I was like, oh, Jesus, no, God, please don't let WWE buy them. And I was like, Bushiroad, I'll take it.
WWE, it's a full squad of Kabuki Warriors experience.
Don't you know he would do that?
Oh, my God.
Don't you know he would? God.
Getting back to the racist thing. All right. My minute, I am going to talk about, we mentioned it briefly, but Tessa Blanchard has been booked to be wrestling Sami Zayn for his Impact World Championship.
You said Sami Zayn.
Sorry. Sami Callihan.
Yes,
It's late. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no
Sami
kidding.
Callihan for his Impact World Championship at Hard to Kill. And I'm going to tell you right now, while this is high profile, it's going to pull up a lot of things. I'm going to tell you why Tessa should not win at this pay-per-view.
Ooh.
Because it is too early. I said this year was the year for Sami Callihan in Impact Wrestling, and he needs a really, really good title run so that when Tessa does win it, and she better win it off of Sami, I hope, and please Impact do this, resurrect the Lockdown pay-per-view and make that the main event, Tessa versus Sami Callihan for the title at Lockdown. That is the prime spot. If you build it up well enough, to have that be the match that she wins, especially since Sami Callihan won the title in a cage. It would benefit more if he lost it in a cage. Mm-hmm. Give it time, people. Tessa may not win in January, and that's okay. She will. and her time is coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So.
I think we all went over a man tonight.
That's fine.
I like it though. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think that's. I agree with we both
Yeah.
said because you told me that was the main event of the upcoming pay-per-view, and I was like, maybe a little soon.
I
But
like
yeah,
it.
no, I like it.
I like it, but yeah, not yet. Don't pull the trigger too soon.
I don't think they'll do it too soon, but I do think that they I think they kind of had to continue that story.
yeah.
Like they started from Slammiversary because
It's the biggest story right now.
that you can tell that they weren't finished, nowhere
No,
close.
no.
Because at this point she kind of just started a war with all of OVE really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so at some point they were going to cross paths again. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
And it's actually in Dallas. I didn't realize that.
The Hardy Kills
Yeah.
in Dallas.
Yes, yeah.
They're coming back pretty quick. I didn't realize that either.
I think they had a good reaction here, man. I think
Wow.
because they're having another bash at the brewery. That
In
Friday
San Antonio?
Yeah,
Nice.
that
Oh,
Friday
boy,
before.
yeah.
I think
Impact Plus.
I think they just got that good a reaction from the crowd here. It's just like when
It's Texas. Hell, bring the pay-per-view to San Antonio. for crying out loud.
yeah, it's just like when Ring of Honor, well, they did bring lockdown that one time. Maybe when they bring it back, it'll be here.
Hey,
because man, that was one of the best nights I ever had in my life.
Dude,
Oh
I-
man, you say that, and I'm like, it's too bad her dad's with AEW at the moment because.
that would
that'd
be
be a
actually
hell of a
cool.
thing. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be perfect.
Well, he could just be a guest. In the crowd.
That lockdown was legendary.
That
and
lockdown was really good.
When we went to a taping of Restaurant Impossible and got to talk to Gail because she was there because it was her husband's show, we mentioned I mentioned I met her before after lockdown center, and her eyes, and Gail's eyes lit up like, dude, you guys were a great crowd. That's like the best show we've ever done.
Always
And
comes back to Gail.
It does come back to Gail. But literally, when I signed up for Impact Plus, that was the first pay-per-view I went back and watched
I
because
don't blame you.
the
don't
payoff
blame you.
for Aces and Eights, man, oh man, that
They
was amazing.
could have had something.
I know, but that was like the high point of that whole storyline. It was amazing.
But the NWO'd it, so.
They did, yes. Still,
It was so close to being amazing.
we are a passionate, crazy bunch, and I'm really enjoying it with Impact's Resurrection. How amazing it is now. Great TV deal. Turning Point was a great show as well on Impact Plus, and I will say this: Tessa and Jordan Grace is arguably the best women's tag team out there.
Fantasy booking, those two versus the Divas of Doom.
Ooh, boy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that
that'd be
is
a hell of a
fantasy
show.
booking, and
So-
I love the thought of that.
They
that
are
would be
a hell of a
fantastic.
team, and it's
Or
pretty amazing.
or them versus Trish and Lita.
Yeah, of course.
Ooh, boy.
Fantasy booking, but hey,
Or the
Always down
Kabuki
for
War
that.
experience. Anyway, had to do it. Our Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast.
I'm not
You can
pointing at
subscribe
that after
to
you
the
said
Countdown
that.
City Geeks YouTube channel.
no.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts on everything we talked about today, and go ahead and give us your thoughts because next week we will be previewing NXT TakeOver War Games and
Oh,
WWE Survivor
That's gonna be
Series.
an amazing
Already?
weekend.
Yes.
Freaking-
Yeah, I know. And it is
My getting
very
married has made me lose all track of time.
it is very, very possible we could have 5, maybe 6 people on this desk. Tez has said he wants to be a part of it.
Okay.
And to Manny with the Goods podcast, I apologize I haven't gotten you on the show yet. Things have been crazy. But I am extending an invite to you to join us for our preview of War Games and Survivor Series. You're a big wrestling fan, and I know Terrence on the Goods doesn't really want to talk wrestling with you. So,
Aw.
Manny, hit me up on our Twitter. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah.
All right, please, definitely, let's do this. So, until then, hey, fun show, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Over here is Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
Over here's Mike. And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake. Back to Disney Plus. See y'all.
So if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here.
And if you want to watch more WrestleCast videos, I got 3 words for you. Click right here.